Hello chess lovers, Suran here, and in this video I want to share with you a very dramatic game played between Anatolij Bannik and Borislav Ivkov. This is a game played in 1963 during Yugoslavia URS match. Bannik with white pieces opened up with e4, to which Ivkov answered with French defense, d4, d5, knight c3, bishop b4. Winawer variation is on the board, e5, advanced variation, knight e7. c5 is the most popular move, but we see c5 only after knight e7, knight f3, yes, and only in here black undermined white center. Bishop takes c3, b takes c3, queen a5, bishop d2, knight b6, a4. In some cases, black is playing queen a4, thus putting a useful pressure on c2, and thus forcing white to keep his queen on d1, although in some lines white can even neutralize that threat by playing rook a2, but in this case white decided to occupy the a4 square himself, and there we have it, a4. Also in some cases this a4 is preventing b5 advance. Bishop d7, bishop e2, c4. Black is locking up the queen side, which is a standard idea, after which is undermining white center, this time from the king side. E takes f6, g takes f6, knight h4, and black castled queen side. As the queen side is locked up, castling queen side becomes possible, and targeting black king is not that easy. Bishop h5, rook g8, but on the other hand, white's king side also looks solid. Yes, there is a semi-open g file, but relying on that fact and organizing an attack is not that easy. Let's not forget that this queen on a5 is still placed somewhat awkwardly. Knight goes back on g2, knight c e7, rook e1, knight f5, bishop g4, and rook d e8. This is a terrible mistake, and I just can't understand how could Ivkov allow bishop takes f5. Instead, at this point, e5 is very good. Yes, all in all, we have an equality on the board. And the problem with rook d e8 is that after bishop takes f5, black is suddenly getting a very weak pawn structure. At this point, we see the exchange of rooks as well, after which white queen jumped on h5, targeting the pawn on h7. Rook e7, black neutralized the threat, but this time white targeted the pawn on f5, and it looks like that there is no way to protect it. Black played king b8, allowing knight takes f5. Well, if we move like f4, then white can choose between knight takes c4, relying on this pin, or knight f5 also looks very strong. In the game to knight e3, black answered with king b8 and lost the pawn on f5. Bishop takes f5, queen takes f5. Queen goes back on d8. Finally, black wants to activate his queen and use it when organizing the defense. Queen takes f6 can't be played because of this rook e1. That's why white played h4. White wants to corner black knight as well. a6, a5, restricting the movement of black pieces further. King a7, h5, this time white is cornering black knight, and white's position is totally winning, you know. Bishop h6, queen d7, queen takes f6. At this point, if we take a look at the position, there are three major weaknesses in black's position, and it looks like that there is no way to protect all these pawns. And black offered the exchange of queens, but lost the pawn on f6 as well. Rook f7, queen b6 check, king a8, rook e1. The rooks are for the open files. Rook e7. Black hurried with neutralizing white's rook, and we see the exchange of rooks on e7 as well. Bishop e3. Very cautious move, and this looks too passive, you know. Instead, playing actively like bishop takes f8 is better. If queen takes f8, then queen e6, and if we move like queen e1 check, then of course you can't give a perpetual check. White king is in safety. In the game to queen takes e7, white answered with bishop e3, which allowed black to activate his knight. g4, h6. This is the start of a very cunning idea which Ivkov is bringing into life. He's inviting bishop takes h6, which white made, knight f4, and there comes the knight. Yes, this time black is sacrificing the knight in order to open up the e-file for the queen. Not suspecting anything, Bannik captured on f4 as well, but this is a terrible blunder. At this point, white could neutralize queen e1 by playing queen b1, And yes, white is winning. If we move like knight e2 check, then king f1. If knight takes c3, then queen e1, forcing the exchange of queens. But instead, after knight f4, white accepted the piece sacrifice, and probably you may have already guessed what's the problem with it. And there comes queen e1 check. I've already shared with you many puzzles and also real games where the upcoming idea was used, and quite possibly, yes, you can already guess what's going wrong with white's position. King g2. And at this point, black made a fantastic move, which is the logical continuation of those two sacrifices, and that move is queen h1 check. With this last piece sacrifice, black invited white bishop to occupy this diagonal, thus restricting the movement of black king, after which black queen became a desperado piece. Yes, there is no escape from this torpedo. King g3 was made by Bannik, and there comes queen h3 check. This time finally black is forcing white to accept the queen sacrifice, which white did, after which stalemate appeared on the board. Black has no more legal moves, and this is a draw. Ivkov played this game terribly, but at the last stage of the game he pulled out a brilliant swindle, thus making this game memorable. In the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to find the winning line for white. How would you conclude the attack? That's the question, and as usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Feel free to check out my early uploads as well. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.